But here's the thing I always tell people. You never lose money in the stock market until you sell. Everybody's scared. Everybody's nervous, right? The stock market has been going up and down and up and down, and mostly down in the last few days. Trump's in office. There's a new government, new issues, new world problems happening, tariffs everywhere. What should we do? Should we sell off everything? Well, that's what we want to talk about today. What's up, everybody? It's your boy, StephenMotivate, back again with another episode of The Journey to Freedom. And today I just want to come before you briefly and encourage you a bit, because I know you're probably a little nervous. You're probably a little scared when the red shows up on your stock market, on your Robinhood, on all your devices or wherever you trade at. You probably think, oh my gosh, is it time to sell? And I'm here to encourage you and tell you exactly what you should do. And so we're going to go over 3 things. And then at the end, I'll give you one more bonus tip just to keep you encouraged if you stick around. All right, tip number 1. We're dealing with the stock market. And what you have to know about the stock market is that ups and downs, green and red, is very, very normal. What you should write down if you're taking notes is stock fluctuations are very, very normal. It's happened for the entire life of the stock market. It's happened even back when they had the Great Depression and the stock market crash, so to speak. That's always been the case. But here's the thing I always tell people. You never lose money in the stock market until you sell. Again, I'll say it again. You never lose money in the stock market until you sell. Why do I say that? Because if you own a piece of the company and it goes up one day and your stock portfolio looks great and you're making $50, $30, $100 more than what you previously did, and then the next day it goes down and you've lost $50, $30, $100 more, well, guess what? You still own a piece of that company. And so you actually haven't lost anything. You don't lose anything until you cement those losses by selling the stock. And so this is why it's very important to recognize that stock fluctuations are normal. And if you've ever run a business, and if you've ever been an entrepreneur, you know that there's good days in your business and there's bad days in your business. There's days where you think like we're going to run through the mountain and leap over the wall. And then there's days when you think, man, this is tough. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it. And that's essentially what's happening when you're a part owner in these companies. Whether you realize it or not, you are a part owner of that stock you own. So if you've bought Nike stock, you're an owner of Nike. If you've bought Google stock or Apple stock, you're an owner of Google or Apple. And so you're going to have ups and downs just like any business owner will have. And the key for you is to not be surprised by the ups and downs. Don't get scared because you see ups and downs. Being scared really leads to emotion, and you do not want to be emotional when you're dealing with the stock market. Historically, stock markets always come back. Historically, it's the folks who stay invested during the downturns that enjoy all of the benefits when the stock market bounces back in the future. So you don't want to lock in losses by selling when things are bad. In fact, you want to do the very opposite. Point number 2, compound growth requires patience. We've talked about this before on the channel, that you've got to be committed to compound growth. What does that mean? That means that your money that you invested in the stock market begins to make money. And the money that it makes money. And so what we always say on the channel is that you use your money as a seed. You plant that money and you allow it to grow to make more money. But just like any seed, any growth, ask a gardener. You don't plant soybeans today and go reap them this afternoon. It just doesn't happen that way. Just like planting a garden, being a gardener, being having a green thumb. I think that's what they call it, having a green thumb. You have got to be committed to being patient as it relates to your investments. That patience will allow you to experience compound growth. That compound growth over time will allow your money to make money. So just imagine if your seed makes seeds. So you use your money as a seed, and as you plant it, it makes more seeds, making more money. That's compound growth in a nutshell. And what you're doing when you remain patient, right? The Bible says patience is a virtue. So there's a automatic blessing already in being patient. You apply that same patience and that virtuous trait to stock market investing, and you're going to experience the reward for that. So you've got to stay patient, because remember, your money in the stock market is like a seed in the ground. Point number 3, emotional investing leads to mistakes. In fact, just about emotional anything leads to mistakes. Why do basketball players in the NBA talk trash to each other? Why was Michael Jordan, one of the best basketball players that have ever lived, talk trash? Why would he be mean or rude or say things that would throw someone off? It's because he knew what I know, that when you get someone emotional, they usually make mistakes. When you get someone at the free throw line who's good enough to be in the National Basketball Association, is a professional at the highest level, who has the competency and the ability to make free throws over and over again, so much so that they're paid millions of dollars, what is the only thing that could make somebody that's already a professional, already proficient, already really good at a sport, at a game, what's the only thing that can throw them off? You got it. Emotions. You take that guy at the free throw line and they're chatting in his ear and he's already having a bad game, and someone says something about his mother or about his family or about his shoes or about his hair. And the whole point, they don't care about his shoes, his hair, his mother. They care about getting him emotional, because emotion leads to mistakes. And what I'm telling you today is that when you're dealing with the stock market, if you allow yourself to become emotional, when you see the news, oh my gosh, everything's about to go down. Oh my gosh, it's about to be World War III. If you allow yourself to be emotional, you are on the precipice of making mistakes. This applies to everything. If you're living with your spouse, or you're with your boyfriend or girlfriend, and you allow yourself to get emotional, you guys have a disagreement, and it leads to you getting emotional, you're bound to make mistakes. This is why you always hear people say, you know what? I don't want to talk anymore. I need some time alone. I've got to stop, because if I keep going, I'm going to make mistakes because I'm becoming emotional. And it's very wise when you stop yourself. If you're in an argument, in an interpersonal relationship, and you say, you know what, I'm just going to exit. I'm just going to remove myself from the situation because I don't trust myself to make good decisions when I'm emotional. And that's the exact thinking you want to have when you are investing in the stock market. Do not look at that red that's on your screen on Robinhood. And if I look at my phone right now, it's red. In fact, let's just make this even more personal. I think today alone, at the time of recording this, I have lost, looks like it's starting to come back a bit, but I have lost $340 just this week in the red. And what if I got emotional when I saw that and I just start selling everything? The biggest problem with that is when you're emotional, you end up selling when prices are low, which is the exact opposite of what you want to do. And then when you try to get back in, now prices have shot back up and you end up buying when it's high. So this is why we teach the most common thing you'll hear any financial professional tell you is you want to invest consistently like a beat of a drum over time. Just stay consistent. I'm just going to keep investing on the days I want to, on the days I don't want to, on the days when I'm happy, on the days when I'm sad, in the days when I'm emotional, on the days when I'm unemotional. I'm going to stay committed to investing no matter how I feel, because if I let my feelings get involved, that's likely when I'll make a mistake. All right, if you stuck around this long, here's your bonus tip. If you've been investing and if you're new to this, it's totally natural to become emotional, honestly. It's something you probably can't avoid. Hopefully you watch this video and you learn from it. But one thing you want to do is you do want to look at rebalancing your portfolio. So when things start to get scary, and I've talked to all my financial friends about this. I have several of them that are investing professionals, and they all say you don't sell off, but what you do is you look at rebalancing your portfolio. So if you got a particular stock that's really not performing well, or if you got a company that's really performing great, it might be time to rebalance. Maybe I put more of my money into the stock that's performing well and less into the one that seems to be underperforming. And a part of that rebalancing is actually doing more research on the company. Start to understand what you're investing in, what the company's doing, what's cool that they have coming out. Not all companies do the big, Apple release. Ooh, we got a new product and it's a big fanfare. But most companies are working on new things. And so whomever you're invested in, do a little bit more research and ask a friend. Begin to talk to others about what they're investing in and temper those talks. Don't, there are going to be people that try to get you rich overnight. Don't spend a lot of time talking to them, but talk to people that have been consistently investing for a long time, because they can give you a viewpoint of how to build what we always talk about, that firm financial foundation. And that's what I want to help you get to. So that's my bonus tip for you. Rebalance your portfolio and make sure you do your research and talk to others about what you're invested in. Look, I hope that helps you as much as it's helped me. Don't be scared. Don't move out of emotion. Stay invested, and you'll be glad you did. Until next time, y'all, as always, stay motivated. It's your boy, StephenMotivate. Peace.